You're listening to When Everything Cracks, a mental health memoir set in old San Francisco. In today's episode, we find out what happens after I try to escape the hospital. Chapter 14, Aftermath. When I open my eyes, there's my mother. She's sitting on a chair against the wall, crying into her book. She doesn't see my eyes open. Good. I close them tight and try to go back to sleep. No good. I can keep my eyes closed, but the consciousness won't go away. I push hard, and blood courses through the vessels in my brain. I hear it in my ears. I feel pressure mounting behind my eyes. It doesn't make me sleepy, it just gives me a big headache. I move my head slightly and hear a crinkling noise like disposable diapers. Yeah, it must be a bandage on the back of my head. Oh, damn, my head hurts. It hurts to move my eyes behind the closed lids. My nose itches, so I scratch it. I hear the sound of my mother's chair scooching against the hard cement floor. She rushes to the side of my bed. I can smell her and feel the breeze she generates. I hear her breathing. Duncan? Duncan, honey? Can you hear me? Shit, I blew it. I open one eye cautiously. She's smiling at me through tears. I close my eye again, vainly hoping that she'll vanish. Plenty of other shit here has been a figment of my imagination, so why not her? Nurse! Nurse, he's awake! God damn it, I am not imagining that shrill voice. I give in and open both my eyes. She's still there, quaking with tears of relief. Duncan, honey, can you hear me? I nod, which hurts a lot, and my head makes the sound of a diaper-clad baby wiggling its butt. Are you feeling okay? Yeah. Talking hurts less. Her face contorts into a snarl. Good. How about telling me just what the fuck you thought you were doing today? What kind of stunt did you try to pull, huh? She's furious. I close my eyes, pretending to lapse into unconsciousness. She doesn't buy it. Don't pull that bullshit with me. Open your goddamn eyes. Hey, what's going on here? I hear Barbara Hall's voice as she enters the room. Open your eyes before I slap you. He was awake a minute ago, I swear. Duncan! I keep my eyes shut. It's the only thing I can do. Barbara intercepts her. Why don't we just let him... Keep your fucking hands off me. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave if you continue like this. Barbara is laying down the law. I love it. Fine. Mom storms out of the room. Barbara comes to my bedside. I feel her maternal hand brush back my hair. I open one eye again. She smiles at me and winks. I can see the coast is clear. I open the other eye. Well, you had quite an adventure today, didn't you? She's all smiles, no hostility. I grin sheepishly. I'm sorry. Don't apologize to me. I didn't get hurt. You did. I guess I'll never get out of here now. She smiles genuinely. When you get better. I made it, though. Where? She leans closer to me. Home. So, are we off the spaceship yet? Barbara, it wasn't a spaceship. It was a hospital. Still is. She smiles broadly at me. We're in a hospital. Do you still care where it's at? Well, I know where it's at. Oh, where's it at? She looks worried. San Francisco. Yes, she's grinning. If you'd only let me out, even for 1 minute, I could have seen for myself. She looks pensive. She takes my hand and holds it. You're probably right. It just isn't set up that way. Dr. Vile enters the room and clears his throat. Barbara backs away, letting my hand drop to my side. Dr. Vile leans in and looks me in the eyes. He holds up a finger in front of my face. How many fingers do you see? 4, plus your thumb. He clears his throat rather abruptly. How many am I holding up? 1. Good. Now follow the finger. He moves the finger around and I follow it with my eyes as he requested. Good. Any headache? Yes. Nausea? No. A mild concussion. You'll be just fine. He turns to leave. Wait, doctor. What is it? Where's my mother? He sighs. She's not here anymore, thank God. I suspect she went home to leave us all in peace. Awfully kind of her. Home to Vermont? No, we're not that lucky. He hurries out the door, his white lab jacket flapping behind him. Barbara returns to my bedside and smooths my hair down against my forehead. I don't know how you survived this long with her. She means it. I guess my mother's pretty dangerous. Sue is standing there when I wake up. Duncan, what did you tell them about the plan? Nothing. Good. It would be better if you didn't say anything. Of course not. What they don't know won't hurt them. She reaches forward and brushes the hair out of my eyes. You've got 2 black eyes. Look, I'm sorry we didn't get you out of here. You brought me home. Sue sighs and a tear rolls out of her eye and down her chubby cheek. You're home? She asks me. Yep. Good. Where were you? Well, I was on a spaceship, I think, at least part of the time. Sue looks at me squarely and says, If anyone else asks you, don't you dare say that. You just weren't feeling well. Got it? Yes, I lie. How will I remember it? They took all my brains out and put cotton up there. I've got no memory. Do you care where it's at? I know where it's at. Well, stuff it. Don't tell these goddamn nurses here. They don't understand what you're trying to tell them, but I do. So keep it between us, okay? I nod, wincing. My head still sounds like a mewling infant in disposable diapers, and it's starting to kick, too. Oh, baby, does it hurt? There are more tears in her eyes as she leans forward and kisses me on the head. I reach out and grab her hand, looking into her eyes. Her lower lip is quivering. She looks back into my eyes, and I can't help but cry a little myself. She tries to smile, but more tears come, and she lets out a little sob. She cries, I want my Duncan back. Me too. Where did I go? How do I get back? She reaches forward and kisses me on the head again. I don't know why, but I reach up and touch her chin, motioning her down to my lips. When she bends down and kisses me, I put my tongue in her mouth. She Frenches me back, and her eyes open wide, a giggle escaping even as our lips are locked, air blowing out around our lips. She puts one hand on my cheeks and closes her eyes as she kisses me. What the fuck am I doing? I quickly pull away and look to the side of the room. My head is swimming. No touching. It feels like a little squirrel is up there running on a wheel. My face is hot. Sue can see my reaction and she looks worried. I don't feel well. Sue, I need to lie down. My head hurts. Fine, I'll be back. She turns and leaves the room with just enough deliberation to seem offended. I'm worried now because I kissed her. What was I thinking? Or not thinking? My head is all swollen, and the pressure against the pillow makes me feel nauseated. Time to close my eyes. There's a round man in my room with wire-rimmed spectacles across a moon-shaped face. He looks into my eyes as he speaks to me. Northeast Lodge is close to your old job at the Stud. He looks like a whole bunch of perfectly drawn circles. For some reason he makes me think of the spirograph set I had as a kid. I think that was mine. Maybe not. His glasses especially make me think of the ridged plastic, almost sharp at the edges. I used to try to wedge my finger between the sharp ridges and the inner circle, pretending it was a grindstone. Good place for you? There's a hint of question in what he asks. I just wasn't paying attention. I'll go for honesty. Could you repeat the question? I didn't hear you. He rolls his round eyes inside their little round cages and looks at Barbara. She nods. Do you think that Northeast Lodge would be a place you're interested in moving to? What the hell do I know? It's near the Stud. He just said that. Sounds fine. Sounds fine. Great. Let me give you my card. He digs into his satchel and produces a card with a little round man made of circles drawn on it. How funny. He must know he's round. It says, David Gates, Director, Northeast Lodge, 272 9th Street, San Francisco, California, 94103. He reaches forward to shake my hand. As I lean forward to reciprocate, I feel the familiar crinkle of the bandage. Some of the tape is stuck to the pillow, and as it separates, it sends little shock waves of pain down my spine. Please stay there. He reaches forward and pushes me back into the pillow, taking my hand and gently shaking it in his puffy round palm. He seems like he could get me out of here. He has that kind of power. I think I'd better let him know what I know. I know where it's at. Oh yes, well of course, it's right by the Stud, where you used to work. No, I know. Barbara interrupts. Yep, we've all been by there. She turns to me with a smile that turns into a dagger-throwing stare. David, the round man, doesn't even notice. I have to let him know something. See you round. I say it with a particular emphasis on the round. There's a faint glimmer in his eyes as he turns to me and says, Yes, you will. Has he read my mind? He's telling me that I get to leave the hospital. I love this double entendre game. Barbara is far too dim-witted to notice anything here. There's a nor'easter blowing, I say. Oh, yes. He turns away quickly and waddles out of the room. The game was just starting to get fun. Oh well, he said that I'll see him round, and that means more than one thing. I'll play it again the next time I see him. Barbara follows him out into the hallway where they speak in hushed tones. Jimmy Simple bounds into the room. Duncan, Duncan, Duncan. He's so excited. Duncan, guess what? What? They're letting me go today. I get to go home. Before I even know they're there, my eyes are flooded with tears. I tear my bandaged head away from the pillow to lean forward and sob into my hands. Jimmy grabs me and holds me in his arms. My head hurts terribly, but it feels good to be held. Barbara pokes her head into the room. No touching. Then she pokes her head right back out again. I guess she's not going to stick around to enforce it. Don't cry, Duncan. You'll get out of here. Why? Why is everyone leaving? It comes out between sobs. Jimmy breaks away and starts dancing around the bed. Cry, baby, Duncan is a cry, baby. Ha! I think he wants me to laugh, but I'm just not feeling up to it. My head feels like shit. My hands are snotty and wet. I'm sorry, Duncan, I didn't mean it. He comes back over and holds me against his chest. I can hear his heart beating in there. It doesn't hurt so bad when my head is up against him. His chest is soft and warm. I just let it all out. I cry because my father left when I was 5. I cry because Donnie's gone. I cry because I don't remember who I am. I cry because I kissed Sue and didn't mean it. I cry because Jimmy won't be here tomorrow to hold my head against him. I won't hear his heartbeat tomorrow. Hey, tss. It's Barbara. She comes over and pries Jimmy away from me. He gets a violent look in his eyes for a second. Then he just sits still. He wants to leave more than he wants to fight. You could hurt him. He has a head injury. Get on back to your room. She turns to me. Are you okay? I nod, even though it hurts more than saying yeah. If I make any noise out of my mouth, I'll start sobbing. The tears flow in streams down my nose, into the corners of my mouth, and off my chin into my lap. You're sad because your friend is leaving? More painful nods. That's good, because it means you're getting better. Just think, last week you wouldn't remember he was leaving by now, would you? The tears just keep coming. What the fuck is wrong with me that I need to be worried about getting better? Wasn't I just graduating with honors from high school a few months ago? Who am I? I was straight A's and now I'm barely able to remember if I'm wearing shoes or holding a pitcher of water. I'm a failure, a dropout, that's what I am. Mom calls me that. Failure, faggot, failure. My life is in the gutter. Barbara holds me near to her. She's breaking the no-touching rule for me. Her body doesn't feel as warm as Jimmy's. His skin is really tight and hers is kind of loose. But you know what? I'm just not in the mood to turn this shit down. I need something, anything right now. I hold Barbara and shake off the tears. They're losing their grip. I'm coming back out of the well. She runs her fingers through my hair, dislodging a few stray hairs from the bandage or my scalp, whichever holds tightest.